What is going on, Lunatic Fringe? I'm going to show you a statistic right now, and it's probably the most important thing that you can see for the moment. Does it mean that the price is going to explode? No. Does it mean that the price might explode? Yeah. But we're early, and there's a lot that's been going on in the last 24 hours. Again, we have another situation in which a lot of things have started to happen. We started to feel things. And the question right now is, do we get that upside momentum? And I don't know the answer to that, but it's sure looking good early on right now, at least for the last couple of hours. We've had a nice little movement. Now, listen, it's not earth shattering. We're not going crazy. It's not parabolic. It's not the run that you're hoping for, but it's a start of some very interesting things coming. Hit that like button on the way in. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. First of all, this is Bitcoin dominance, as you see right now. Now, listen, I do think that Bitcoin dominance goes up in a very short period of time. I think it's going to start exploding. But as of right now, for the last bunch of hours, you're starting to see a real diminishment of Bitcoin dominance. And what does that mean? Well, if Bitcoin price goes down along with it, it means that the alts are holding up a little bit better as people take profit, et cetera, et cetera. But here's the thing. Bitcoin's at 109,702. Bitcoin is actually up almost 1% on the day, but dominance is going down. And let me show you where that matters. VeChain, multi-billion market cap, up 4.5% on the day. XRP, multi-billion-dollar market cap, up 3.5% on the day. Ethereum's up 2%. Solana's up 2%. Ondo's up 2.5%. Sui is up 2.5%. We're starting to get those movements, right? Where does that apply to Luna Classic? Luna Classic, this is the chart for Luna Classic for the last bunch of hours. And first of all, once we got to this range right here, which we've been there a few times, we've had sell-off every single time. The question is, can we break above that and start to use this range as support? And where we're sitting right now, just as this is not the end-all be-all. I think this is the range right there. That's where we would flip to support. And we weren't successful in doing that a couple of days ago when we had that test. Now, the question is, can we break above it? And we're still early. We've only had one candle minting. And by the way, this candle has not closed. It's only 8 minutes old. But that one candle right there above that support zone, or resistance as it were, a move above is a great sign, but it's just the start. What we need is a continuation of a move up into this range, and then we need to backtest here and not reject at that 58 sort of range. So this is the test at this moment. We're actually in a test zone on whether or not we're going to leg up, if you will. Now, what would that look like? I'm going to be guessing. I'm going to be guessing. But let's start with the 4 hour. And on the 4 hour, and I know we're skipping to price early, but I want to show you guys what's going on here. On the 4 hour, we've broken above the 200 MA. Now, we should have rejected against it, but we didn't. We started to mint above it. Now, we've only got, again, one candle. We need three consecutive candles for confirmation of a potential breakout. Problem with this breakout is going to be very, very simple. And by the way, it's not a big problem, but the 200 MA is starting to go sideways, but it's down here at that 57 level, while the resistance is really up here at this 58. So whatever happens in this range right here, if we get a confirmed breakout above, and then we get a back test right here, that should mean that this is the next step, that we're going to start that movement. But there's a lot to unpack here. Remember, we're now 4 days away from the Market Module 2.0 reveal, where we have that conversation, and maybe perhaps we start to see some people get real interested in Terra Luna Classic. Is that a guarantee that they will? It absolutely is not, but it is nice to see that we've got some positive price action. And by the way, everything that's paired with Terra Luna Classic is feeling the bonus of that pairing right now, and that is a good thing. That makes people a little bit happier. Now, if we get a confirmed breakout, I just want you to imagine here, if we get a confirmed breakout and we really start to run and we really start to get up here into this, my target zone, which was up here, we start to get up into this range, and that's not a lot, by the way. It's only about 20% move. It's not gigantic. But if we get up into this range, then you start asking yourself the question, well, is a potential breakout in the cards? And the answer to that would be a resounding yes. When we come up a little bit further, again on the 4 hour, we're looking at a breakdown, but we're looking for a rise up into, or we're looking for a break upwards into this sort of range right here. Then we want to move into this and we want some confirmation, and then we want to break out, and then we want to pump above that zone. That right there, where I'm showing you right there, that's a 3x from where we currently are. And that's what the breakout is looking like in my eyes at this moment. Just because it looks that way doesn't mean that it's going to happen. But the chart looks really good right now for a move. Will that move happen? I don't know. The fact that we're kind of pushing up and pushing up and pushing up is good, but there are certain things that are happening right now, like this little trend line right here. Like, again, a break above this helps give us confirmation. We've got this sort of right there. We've kind of broken out. You can say that we've broken out, but I mean, again, I don't really consider it a breakout when you're just ranging sideways off of one of those moves. So, I don't consider that to be an actual breakout, but it's positive. And with the market module conversation coming, knowing that we are very close to changing the paradigm on burns, that might be something that's incredible for motivation. That's going to attract new investors and get investors to come back in. Now, will that work? Well, let's go over here and let's look at the burns today, because we just burned 1 billion tokens kind of out of nowhere. And Burn Tracker only had us at 181 million, meaning that we had gone back down that 375 million that was burned by Binance, whatever. Well, a little investigation. It turns out that was the automated, that is from the fee collector, 1.024 billion by the fee collector, which is a significant number. I don't know why the numbers right there are different, but whatever. Very, very close to one another. But again, 1 billion has been burned on the day. Great sign. That usually means that there's going to be some positive motivating something or other, we're starting to look at. But again, it could decline at any point. So let's look a little bit deeper. By the way, before we go any further, remember the bridge token contract is deployed. So if you're looking for clay or anything like that, then you have some opportunity here. And remember, they're still working on this USTC repeg, which would be fantastic if it happens, not to be confused with the USTD that's going on as well. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you sign up today at Terra Casino. We're going to do another giveaway. We gave away 10 $100 rewards. So get yourself signed up, get yourself ready. It's an opportunity for you to win money. And hey, listen, even if you're not a gigantic fan of sports-based wagering or casinos or anything like that, the fact that you could potentially play a few games, just sign up, you could win. And then the next thing you know, just take one big spin for $100. You never know what's going to happen. Like if that's, look, it's all about risk. No risk, no reward. That's really the rule, right? So sign up today at terracasino.io. And if you want to trade the Believes meme coin, then you got to come over here and you got to do it at terraport.finance. I've unbonded, and we are live. Go to degen mode in order to grab it. And we're going to restake here. I've been sitting here kind of waiting on this one. We're going to max stake that. We're going to do it for 30 days. You get 447 Terra. And I'll take, that's going to be in 365 days. But I'll take what I can get here. So we're going to stake here for 30 days, earning 4%. So at the end of this, we should have another small bag, and fine. Let's just keep earning just a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more right now. Trading at about 0.003 right now. If it goes up to a penny, that's an easy 3x. And look, it's not a huge amount, but it is an amount. And let's see what happens. Let's continue to stack that bag. If for any reason it goes crazy and ends up at $1, because it is the place where everybody trades on the Terra Luna Classic ecosystem. If it goes to $1, then guess what? We got 11 grand. Okay, off of probably $100, maybe even $50. You never know, because we buy the dips, we hodl, and then we hope for the best. Spray and pray, I think, is the old statement. But anyway, we're holding on to it, and we'll see whether or not we get another big reward out of it. Now, as far as Commonwealth goes, no changes here other than this 1.5 million. And let's look at the comments because they were getting kind of juicy over here. Burn the recovered funds was the first. And how do you ensure the legal fees, legal proceeding entities? Okay, burn the recovered funds. Somebody else. What are the off-chain sources? Can you share these sources? We'd love to. That would make passing this proposal quick and easy and would give hope to the TC community about incoming funds. But our attorneys have warned us that doing so could significantly reduce the chance of success in these matters due to complex legal frameworks that are beyond the scope of this proposal. For the sake of the community and its recovery fund, we need to keep these sources unnamed until all the necessary legal paperwork has been completed and filed with the proper authorities, and we cannot move ahead on that until this proposal has passed governance and the community has agreed to empower us as their representative in these. Okay, so let's just go with whatever, right? Let's just go with whatever on this. Now we've got Unchallenged over here who says, guys, do the math or do some due diligence. This is way overpriced number for a finder's fee. 20% of finder's fee is 3%. If you're lucky, 0.5% is more reasonable. 20% of 1.5 million. Here's where it's going to get real interesting. If their reward is 20% of 1.5 million, they're asking you for $300,000. $300,000 for something that they said would probably cost $100,000 in attorney's fees. Fine. But in order to pay all this, they have to sell, which means that what you're doing is you're donating $300,000 in liquidity to them because they're going to have to sell on the chart. So, there's no, that's how it works. So I am opposed to this entirely. Okay. Now, they said seriously amateur stuff going on. It says 20% is our finder's fee for the work we've put in to get this far with the retrieval effort. A law firm would have billed you 33 to 40%, potentially even more. Attorney fees aren't just for filing a one-time brief. It's for weeks to months of work, including potential court cases. You can hire a cheap lawyer for a few thousand, but don't expect to get anywhere when it comes to complex financial legal. But what? We're budgeting for a full legal team of salaried professionals, not a single lawyer. Hence the 50,000 retainer and over 100,000 price tag. What? Definitely 100,000 is going to be sold no matter what. Okay. And we're giving them the keys to 1.5 million. I don't know. Okay. So then Unchallenged says arbitrary and overinflated numbers. It is not a legal battle because you are not litigating against a counterparty. It is a legal claim on said funds. Whether you or anyone else in the community qualifies for it or not is up to the judge. Calling bullshit already after reviewing the court documents. Your finder's fee at this point, 0.05 if you are lucky. Okay. So we're starting to get some feedback here, and it's not positive on what's going on right here. And by the way, I don't have any incentive. Here's the thing. If there are legal proceedings and if there's money being held up, then that money most likely is the U.S. government. If the U.S. government is the one that's holding on to it, and that, of course, would be part of the bankruptcy proceeding. And what they're going to do, I assume, would be argue that, no, actually, Luna Classic cannot be used in those bankruptcy proceedings, et cetera, et cetera. And that's, just Terraform Labs wallets that have been held with the money being used to pay back all these, creditors. So that's what it looks like to me. I don't know, I if it's not, okay, then the fact that you're not telling anybody exactly what it is some shady shit going on. So I have concerns with this entirely and don't think that there's any way in hell that I would want to give these guys the ability to sell off $300,000, even if it's pulling 1.2 million more in liquidity back onto the chain. That doesn't seem rational or reasonable. Let the sleeping dog lie, if you will. And by the way, remember, right now we're at 3 zeros or 4 zeros, 58. So 1.5 million divided by 0.1234558. We'd be burning what looks to be in the neighborhood of about 25 billion tokens. I like that number, but I don't love that number. It doesn't really do very much. So what it does is basically take us from 5.46 trillion down to 5.44 trillion. That's not really a lot. So this is much ado, in my mind, about nothing. So I'm not in support of it. But if you are, then if it comes up for voting, make sure that you validate with the validators who support a proposal of this type. I'm just telling you, in my opinion, that's going to be a quick $300,000 being dumped on the chart. And again, you could say, well, yeah, but there's but it's $1.5 million worth that's actually sitting over there in that. Well, we're bringing in 1.2 million. And you know what? Fair enough, but I still don't think that that is a smart move. And also, just consider this: they're going to sell 300,000. We're only going to burn 1.2 million, which means that my 25 million or 25 billion is going to go down by a factor of 20%, meaning probably 20 billion is what's going to end up burning. And we want to burn 20 billion, but we don't want to give away the liquidity in that process. So again, I'm conflicted on this. My inclination is no, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. For tokens, just not a lot of movement today. Juris up maybe 0.5% right now. Not seeing anybody else kind of popping. Cookies up 11%. That's a pretty good sign right there. No governance, nothing like that. We're not going to look at the validators today because we only care when when we're winning. We look at the validators, and as long as we see big red, there we go. As long as we see big red and people removing from validators and moving to other validators and giving the people who we think are working hard, those people, right? Let's get Lunk Live into that top 5. You know what I mean? Let's get Happy Caddy Crypto out of the top 5. You know what I mean? Like, let's move up here so that we've got more people, and we've got more people looking for the future and not looking into the past and, trying to, again, I'm not a fan of some of these people, that. Now, in closing, the volume on some of these projects up a little bit. Luna Classic up just a little bit in volume, 20%. Same thing for USTC. It looks like the market just wants to have a surge. I can't say that it will or will not. It looks like the market wants a surge. But the problem with that is and look, my thesis is always this: Bitcoin eats first. Bitcoin's not really eating right now. It's consolidating. If it breaks out of this range and we start to go into price discovery at the all-time high of 112,000, then we have a discussion and then we've got something going on. But until then, I think that we're kind of range bound. And that means that we're going to show some weakness. Maybe we'll show some strength. We'll pump, we'll dump, but right now we're in a wait and see sort of hold pattern. Problem with it all is that hold pattern, again, not to put too fine a point on it, that pattern is down, 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 down. We need some upward movement. We need to really see some momentum start to take us to different levels, higher level. We need to see this, and I'm going to give you that blue line right there at 3 zeros, 12, 13, right there. That we got to break above that range right there. That is the biggest volume node that we've got to break past to really establish a more bullish narrative. When we do that, we get a nice little surge. Boom, guess what? This 200 MA starts to rally. This goes up over. We get the parabolic run. Again, every time we get the crossover, huge run. Every time we get the crossover, huge run. So, that's what we're looking to see. We're looking to see a big crossover and a huge run. So, it'll happen. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. And remember, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right.